Welcome back to the Logan's Lines podcast. I'm your host, Logan, and today we are going to be talking about put up or shut up years for each Power 4 conference team. And my second topic will be surprise teams, also SEC, ACC, Big 12, and Big 10. We'll also talk about a little bit of World Cup, so if you like these videos, give this a thumbs up. And so let's get into it. So our first topic, like I said, put up or shut up years for one of each conferences. Our first team will be South Carolina or USC in the Big 10. So USC and Lincoln Riley are headed to a year where they're kind of needed now. USC or Lincoln Riley I don't think they've ever made it to the playoffs. No, they made it a couple of times at Oklahoma, but I don't think they've made it yet at USC. I know their last good team was when Caleb Williams was there, but they choked. But that being said, this year with Jaden Mayava and company, I feel like there's no reason not to. They've got a really good team. They've got to get through a couple of teams. I know they play Oregon and Ohio State. I don't know if they play Indiana or anybody. I know they play UCLA, of course, every year, but I know they for sure play Ohio State and Oregon. So USC's got to do it now. Our next team in the SEC is going to be South Carolina. Shane Beamer, the last 2 years with Lenore Sellers, Raheem Sanders, and Nick Harbor, with those three players and the offense surrounding them. I know their defense is not the best, but there's no reason not to do it. South Carolina has had all the pieces to produce, and they just haven't yet. Last year, they went, I believe, 4-8, lost a couple of one-score games. In the previous year, they went 9-3. So really good season, just not. They've had one good season, but they kind of need to have, of course, more. So South Carolina, is Shane Beamer's, probably the biggest hot seat on this list. And behind him, and it's really close, is Florida State's Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell at Florida State. Their last 2 years, last year they went 5-7, and the previous year they went 2-10. So their last good year was in 2024, where they went 11-1 and won the ACC championship, but they decided to put Alabama in over Florida State. And then after that, they just the wheels fell off the last 2 years. But if you want to do it now, they've got to do it. They play Alabama, I think, week 3. They play SMU week 1, Labor Day night. And they've also got Clemson, Louisville, and Miami to play. So they've got a heck of a schedule. But with Ashton Daniels, the former Auburn quarterback, he steps in to fill the Tommy Castellanos role. And he also feels like that kind of quarterback to where Mike Norvell wants a mobile quarterback, kind of like the Johnny Manziel-esque quarterback. But we'll see. They've got a couple of tough games on their schedule, so Mike Norvell and the Seminoles kind of have to do it now or never year for FSU. The next team in the Big 12, didn't really think to put a team there. I put TCU, but I know Sonny Dykes made it to a national championship with Quentin Johnston, Max Duggan, and all of those guys a couple of years ago. Keandre Miller, a couple of years ago, but I just threw in TCU just because they haven't had all the greatest last 2 years, but they'll get back to it. So not really there for the Big 12. So our next topic is going to be surprise teams of this year. My surprise teams, where I think teams can kind of shoot up to where they've been kind of down lately. So our first team will be the Duke Blue Devils in the ACC. I know they made it to a national or ACC championship last year, or they win the ACC? No, I think they did. Yeah, they won the ACC last year. But with losing Darian Mensah to Miami, that's a tough blow. And what about Mario Cristobal getting all these like quarterbacks from, big time schools? They got Carson Beck last year 2 years ago from Georgia, and then now Darian Mensah from Duke. Of course, they had to pay quite a bit of money to get those two quarterbacks, but they get them, and they're supposed to be really special this year. They bring back Mark Fletcher and Malachi Toney. It's like I said, they bring in Darian Mensah from Duke, but back to my surprise teams. I think Duke will be kind of the surprise team. Also, their rival North Carolina, I don't think they'll be, a bowl game good this year, but I think in the next 2 years they'll be contending for the ACC. North Carolina, that is. So our next conference will be the Big 12. I think this is obvious for me, and that is the Oklahoma State Cowboys, or as the North Texas Cowboys, as they'll call them. I say that to say this because of Eric Morris going over from North Texas to Oklahoma State and bringing just everybody that he had at North Texas over to Oklahoma State. They bring over star quarterback Drew Mestamaker. He was the best quarterback in the group of five, in my opinion. He lit up scoreboards. He lit up numbers and all that kinds of stuff. So Oklahoma State, I think, is going to be your surprise team of 2026 in the Big 12. In the Big 10, I think it'll be Bob Chesney's UCLA Bruins. Bob Chesney made it to a playoff last year, and although they ran into Oregon, unfortunately, they still made it to a playoff. They returned Nico Iamaleava from Tennessee for his second year at UCLA. So that's good. Outside of that, I don't really know who they bring over. I'm sure a couple people players from James Madison as well. But I'd say UCLA in the Big Ten, kind of your surprise team. I know UCLA plays Indiana and Ohio State. Also, they play USC. So they've got a couple of big games on their schedule this season. I know they got to play Cal their first game. So they've got a couple of big games on their schedule this year. So those are my 5 surprise teams. You got Auburn and Florida in the SEC, Duke in the ACC, Big 12, you got Oklahoma State, and in the Big 10, you got UCLA. So topic number 3, I'm going to talk about the U.S. Their first 2 games, they won, but their last game, they lost. So they went 2-1 in group league play or group stage play, and so now they're headed to the knockout stage in the World Cup. They will play Bosnia Herzegovina on Wednesday night at 8:00. So I'm recording this on Monday. So they'll play in 2 days. Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Hopefully, USA will get back Christian Pulisic or Christian Pulitz. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but hopefully he's the best player on the US. So hopefully we get him back. And my score prediction for the game on Wednesday night is I think the US will win 2-0. Although I hope US makes it all the way. I think they'll run into either Germany or Portugal in the round of 16 is my guess. So hope you all like this video. Give this a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And the next episode will be on Friday. And have a good week and God bless.